Bonjour, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new NHL 22 franchise mode series here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, with the Montreal Canadiens, the most storied franchise in hockey history. 24 Stanley Cups, and GM Thumbs is here. He's taken over as GM. You know, Jeff Gorton was hired by the Canadiens earlier in the season, but GM Thumbs, you know, he put his resume in. He's won Stanley Cups in Columbus, Minnesota, Calgary, Alaska, Toronto. He's done it all, but he wants to come to his favorite team, the Montreal Canadiens, and win Stanley Cup number 25. Technically they have 25, but they only have 24 since the NHL existed, but 25 is the goal. But we don't even want 25. We want 26. We want 27. We want 28. This team needs to go back to its roots. A dynasty with the Canadiens is the goal. I mean President's trophies. I mean Art Ross winners. I mean, just obliterating teams in the postseason. We need to become the monsters in the Eastern Conference. We need to become the dynasty here in the NHL. But I'm super excited to be doing the Montreal Canadiens as my next franchise mode series. Episode 0 is just going to be me talking about plans I have for this team. Just showing you the roster. Just showing you what path we might take, because there's a lot of storylines with the Montreal Canadiens this season. And, well, they're not having the greatest of seasons. They are, what's their record? Their current record, as the date I am recording, they are 7-24-4. That's a hard record to replicate in NHL 22 because, you know, Carey Price, he isn't on the injury reserve. Shea Weber's still here technically. So there's a lot of decisions and a lot of questions I gotta ask you guys before we even start this season up. So, as a Montreal Canadiens fan, I think I am obligated to talk about the misfortunes of the Canadiens going back to Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals in 2021, where we lost against the Tampa Bay Lightning. That was heartbreaking. That was probably the saddest moment of being a hockey fan in my entire life, because I've been watching the Canadiens for 7 years now. 7 years. What? 2014, yes. 2014, that's when I became a hockey fan. Unfortunately, I should go back in a time machine and never do it. I'll choose football next time, I guess. But the Canadiens have had so many shortcomings since losing that game. Losing in the Stanley Cup Finals. Yes, we beat the Leafs. We beat the Winnipeg Jets. We beat the Las Vegas Golden Knights, or the Vegas Golden Knights. I don't care. But we couldn't beat Tampa, and we couldn't add Cup 25. And after that, it only really goes downhill. Marc Bergevin is where I place a lot of blame. Coaching, Dominic Ducharme. Oh my God, my first move as GM would be just clearing out absolutely every piece of this organization. I mean management, I mean scorched earth policy. But we will get to that, and we have a lot of decisions to make here in Montreal. I mean, it's gonna be a fun ride. I could have done Montreal next year, or the year after, or a year before this. But this is the perfect time to step in, because there is no hope in the Canadiens fan base. There's none. Guys like Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki, they're getting beaten the hell up every single night because who's playing on their roster right now? Absolutely no one. So obviously COVID has played a big part in the Canadiens' obviously downfall after the Stanley Cup Finals. Injuries, yes, absolutely, but they're not a good team even fully healthy. They're not a great team. Yes, they got to the Cup Finals. Yeah, whatever. This is the second best team from last year, technically. But they're not strong. They're not deep in the prospect pool. If you go back a year ago, I'm like, wow, they have a pretty deep prospect pool, but I felt like they ruined a good thing really quickly. with terrible moves. So many stupid moves, but a couple good ones. And I'm gonna make fun of the bad ones because I can, because I'm obligated to. Let's talk about the Canadiens roster, because that's what I'm here to talk about today. I'm sure I'm gonna go on plenty of rants in this series about how much I despise the Canadiens, even though they're my favorite team. It's a love-hate relationship. But I love them. And I love my guys. It is going to be very hard for me to get rid of a lot of these fantastic players. So let's start at the Canadiens' weakest position. Obviously, it is the weakest position of the Canadiens for the last, like, 20 years? 10, 15 years? Yes, they've had, I think Koivu he was a center, I'm pretty sure. But guys like Nick Suzuki are coming up. Christian Dvorak, I would much rather. I might even go out and move for I might go out and get Kotkaniemi. Who knows? Who knows what I'm going to do, but I'm not a fan of Christian Dvorak. Oh, God. Oh, you know what I just realized? In NHL 22, because of the trades the Montreal Canadiens made in the offseason, guess what we don't have? Technically, we don't have our first-round draft pick. So maybe we might have to go talk to the Arizona Coyotes, because this team might tank. So on the main roster, Nick Suzuki, Slick Nick, Propane Master, whatever you want to call him. He is probably the best Montreal Canadian in 2020, in the 2021-2022 season. Yeah, he just got that big boy contract. I think he's worth it. Personally, he's gonna just keep growing. I've seen Nick Suzuki grow. With those X factors, he's gonna be a fantastic playmaking two-way forward centerman for us. I love him. He'll be on this team probably until he's not. Christian Dvorak, if you go onto my Twitter, you know that I'm not a fan of Christian Dvorak. I'm just because Kotkaniemi's not here anymore. It's the same thing. It's my same despise with Shea Weber, because he was traded for PK Subban, or he was vice versa. You know what I mean? It's just disdain, okay? But I'm okay. This is probably going to be a very therapeutic franchise mode. Cut 10 episodes from now when we get swept in the first round after winning a President's Trophy. Call back. Jake Evans was given a $1.7 million deal, and he's a fast bastard there on the who's gonna play bottom 6 minutes for us, but he's young. Maybe turns into something, maybe doesn't, but it is what it is with him. I don't have much to say on Jake Evans. You have Cedric Paquette. Oh my God, Montreal did such a bad job in the offseason, sort of, hey, this is the team we're gonna go with, good luck. In the system, we do have a couple of centers to talk about here, or I guess the big one, Ryan Poehling, the 25th overall pick in the 2017 draft. If you don't recall his first NHL game, it was Bob Cole's last game. Commentating in the NHL, it was game 82 of the 2019 season. Something like that. His first game, hat trick, wins a game in the shootout. So that's what I remember him from, but he's slowly making his way into the NHL. Obviously, there might be some overalls you disagree with in this game, so just let me know in the comments down below before we head into the first actual simulating episode. If you want to see some overalls changed, upgraded, because I think I was fair with the Canadiens, but probably a little harsh because they make me very mad, okay? Ryan Poehling is our big prospect center, and after that, Lawrence Dauphin, Jean-Sebastien Die. I'm so sorry if I butchered that. Raphael? Harvey Pinard. He is the Brendan Gallagher in the AHL. That's what I've been told. I don't watch a lot of Laval Rockets game, but that's what I've been told. Lucas Vejdemo. He played his first NHL game not too far back. You have Cameron Hillis, not too bad, third round pick in 2016. High top 9 Maybe he grows into something. We have a lot of problems on this team, and we're gonna have to draft our our sorry behinds out of our miserable mess. Teasdale, yeah, we have a lot of middle ground prospect, but nothing groundbreaking down here. Kapanen, Oliver Kapanen, second round pick for the Canadiens in 2021. Maybe he gets an upgrade. Maybe I go back and upgrade him. Who knows? But not too shabby. I think I have him in my Atlanta Thrashers franchise mode. That's where he came from. He's an actual player. I didn't know that. I won't lie. Joshua Waugh. Now, I might have to go back and upgrade him a tad because he is having a great year in the QMJHL. He was the 5th round pick of the Canadiens, but statistically, he's always been a really good junior player. And maybe he, back in the day, he was 1/3 of the MVP line in Columbus. That's a throwback for some of my viewers. Comment down below if you know what that line is. You also have Riley Kidney, 18 years of age, 2nd round pick in 2021. The Habs did a lot of drafting in 2021. Hopefully that helps us out a tad. So that's nothing. There's not a whole lot of substance. I guess Joshua Waugh and Ryan Poehling are the 2 big center prospects that we have in the system, but we definitely need elite centermen. Connor Bedard! Connor Bedard! Maybe. Oh, Shane Wright. Payne for Shane? That's ideal. Okay, we're going to move on to the, let's go left wingers. That's what I'm feeling. Jonathan Drouin. Now, honestly, I have a lot of mixed feelings about Jonathan Drouin. Just because before he came to Montreal, I'm like, this kid has so much damn talent, but he's playing like third line minutes on the Tampa Bay Lightning, but he's going to crack out of his shell eventually. 53 points before he comes to Montreal, 46, 53, 15, 23, He is such a talented forward. He has great prowess, and I like Jonathan Drouin, but for 5.5 for 2 more years, is it worth it? I mean, he's obviously dealt with injuries, and a lot of those problems have seeped into his statistics. But I still like Jonathan Drouin. He's a French Canadian. Maybe we need him here in Montreal. Maybe he needs an upgrade. Let me know down in the comments. Mike Hoffman. I don't like you, Mike, but I don't dislike you. I would have much rather had you 2-3 years ago when you were in your prime and an absolute lights out player. But honestly, on this team, you're really only a power play asset. 4.5 Montreal? Why did you? Oh my God, 4.5 for 3 years? What are you doing? Oh, I have such a mess to get myself out of. Arturi Lehkonen. Now, he is an interest. I could do a video essay, I swear to God, on every Canadian on this team and be like, hey, this is what they're great at, but look at this. Look at Arturi Lehkonen. Now, I believe he scored the series clinching goal in the conference finals against the Vegas Golden Knights to send us to the Stanley Cup finals. I might be wrong, but let me know if I'm right. Lehkonen, he has such great puck protection awareness. He's so good at holding onto the puck, but he couldn't hit. He just doesn't hit the net ever. So he's a great. What does he say he's in this game? He's a great two-way forward. That's what he is for me. Matthew Perreault. I guess he's here to beat up people because when you lose, you might as well give them concussions. Yeah. In the system for left wingers, Paul Byron. Oh, this is sad. Paul Byron, back in the day, I will go out. This is the hill I'm willing to die on. He was just as fast as Connor McDavid. He was. I don't call him the Flash Paul Byron for nothing, okay? You watch some Paul Byron highlights, he is as fast as the puck was, because he's 32 now, he hasn't really played. He's probably done. Probably, maybe, I'm not sure. He's only 32. I don't, I'm not sure about his personal situation, but maybe he comes back. I don't know. But right now on this team, he won't be anything special for us. But he's still still a speedy bastard. The Flash, Paul Byron, I love you so much. But for 3, oh, that's so much. We're going to have a lot of cap space in a couple of years. Pizzetta, maybe he gets an upgrade. I know he's been pretty good as of late. I'm not, you know what? This season has really pushed me away from the Montreal Canadiens. I haven't, I'll say this, I haven't watched nearly as many Montreal Canadiens games as I have in years past. You know, they're 7, 24, and what, 4? They're bad. Why would you want to sit down and watch them? They suck at everything. But I'm a little detached from the Canadiens, so this series is definitely going to help me get in tune with these prospects and stuff. I am a big fan of Jan Mysak. He's from Czechia. He was captain of the Czechia World Juniors team. He's got a boatload of talent. Maybe he grows into something, but we don't have a whole lot of groundbreaking talent. We don't. There's not a whole lot of oomph here. 64 overall at 19. He might never be an NHL player for us. Let's move on to, you know what I'm feeling? Hold on, let's go main roster and the right wingers. Right wingers, Brendan Gallagher. I would say he's my second favorite Montreal Canadian, and we'll get to my first favorite. And I've seen my favorites go. I miss Kotkaniemi and Victor Mete so much. I don't want to get emotional, but I miss them so much. Brendan Gallagher, if he stays healthy, he's good to get you 20 goals a year. I love him. He is a player that you would hate to play against, but would love to have on your team. He's gonna be in front of the net, beating people up with his, he's not a big guy. He's 5'9", but he's gonna give every ounce of his soul into his play. So I really like Brendan Gallagher. Probably, you know what? I have a decision to make. Shea Weber's gone. We need a new captain. Is Brendan Gallagher the captain, or is he a guy we trade because, he was just given 6.5 from Marc Bergevin for infinity? If there's a team willing to take him, I would listen to that, but that hurts saying. Scorched earth policy, baby. Tyler Toffoli was one of the best goal scorers in the shortened season last year. Shortened season? That doesn't make any sense, Owen. The shortened season. He had 28 goals. He was just murdering the Canucks. He was great for us in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But he hasn't been his same old self. I guess the Canadiens haven't been the high-flying, run-and-gun sort of team because their system just doesn't work with Dominic Ducharme and the players that they have. They don't have enough talent as it is right now. Josh Anderson is a very controversial player in the Montreal Canadiens fan base because he was traded for Max Domi. And Max Domi was just coming off of, I think it was a down season for Max Domi, but Josh Anderson, he hasn't really provided, and he does this one thing every single game. He'll take the puck, he'll push off the defending player and just straddle that damn puck towards the net and never hit it unless that one time he does it. Once in a blue moon, baby. But that's a lot of money. Oh my God, we're wasting. Look at the money we're wasting. God, Bergevin. Holy gee. It's so much different hearing it from Twitter and looking at it with my eyes. Joel Armia. Now, when he scores in bunches, so that's always a positive, right? He's probably not coming back, though. He has 4 years left. Oh, I thought his contract was... Oh, we have so... This is going to be such a fun team to dismantle and rebuild because I guess we haven't posed that question just yet. Is this team a rebuilder? Honestly, yeah, we have to be, right? We have to be. Look at us. We're not good. EA Voodoo, we might play into a playoff spot this year, but I don't see it happening. Cole Caulfield, I guess our right wingers... Or I guess for forwards, our right winger depth is the best in the organization. Cole Caulfield, You know, he's had a tough rookie season technically, but when he was being given the time to actually go out there and fight for a spot, he was playing great hockey. A couple of overtime winners for the Canadiens, playoffs. I mean, he had 12 points in 20 games, right? He is a great player, and I'm gonna go on it a bit. I'm putting stock in a Cole Caulfield. You might debate, oh, bring him down to a medium top 6, blah blah blah. He just won, what was it, the Holby Baker Award in the NCAA? Is that the award, like MVP, best player in the NCAA? He is a boat full of talent, and he just needs the time. Okay, that's the only way I can describe it. Jesse Jolonen, not a shabby player. 21 years of age, 75 overall. Now he's at that age. He needs to grow this season, at least get to an NHL player, right? I guess we'll see. You have Basile there, so we don't have a whole lot of right wingers in the AHL system, so that's fun. Defensively, now defense the absolute worst part of this entire organization? Let's talk about it. So, let's talk about the main roster. Jeff Petrie has definitely taken a step back for the Canadiens. I guess every Canadian has taken a step back, and it's a pretty negative place, and he's been pretty open, like, it's in the locker room. Yeah, guess what's not in the locker room, Jeff Petrie? Talent! There's none! It's not there! Sorry, Jeff. I am a fan of Jeff Petrie. But now that he has to be that number one defenseman, and he's clearly not, he is a great second defenseman. He's a great second guy who will pass the puck, be a great offensive talent for the Canadiens. But, if you look at his stats, he had 42 points for us last year. This year, without Shea Weber and without a healthy Joel Edmondson, without the Canadiens as they were, he just isn't the player that he is. And he's 33 and he's making 6.2. Oh God, that's for so long. I mean, Joel Edmondson is like a solid bottom pairing defenseman at an 81 overall, 28 years of age, making 3.5. I was sorry to hear about his dad passing away, so that sucks. I hope he can take it up a notch for the Canadiens. That sucks to hear, especially with the crappy season and everything. Just adding that onto the list of crappy things to happen. It sucks. So, Joel, we're here for you, baby. Brett Kulak, the best defenseman on the Montreal Canadiens, no doubt. He is the most good defenseman, so maybe he needs an upgrade. David Savard, 81 overall. No, he's pretty split, because I see people say, he has these moments where, he's pretty damn good, but then he has these moments where he's pretty damn bad. So I guess he's a flip-floppity 50-50 defenseman. So, and he's 30, there's no offense here from your blue line. It's, hey, we're defenseman. Hey, speaking of pylons, who will surely grab a first for the Canadiens at the trade deadline, because teams are stupid, and he's big and he takes up a lot of minutes. That's what teams think. Guess what? He's not good. Trust me, he's not good. Don't do it to yourselves. But hey, do it, because I'll definitely take a first or a second. He was drafted by the Thrashers? Dude, Ben, get out of here. Chris Weidman, nah, not a fan. Clegg, Niku, I might have to lower Clegg just a bit because he was a waiver pickup. I don't think he's been anything special since he's come to the NHL, or to the Canadiens. Sammy Niku, don't hate that either. So, we have a lot of defensemen, but not a whole lot of substance. In the system, we have some pretty damn good potential defensemen. Ouellette, he'll probably be somewhere in the season, he'll be in the NHL roster. Romanov will be an NHL defenseman for us. Shea Weber. Now, Shea Weber isn't technically retired. He also isn't playing, but in this game, he's still signed on for 5 more years, but they've cut his contract down because In this game, LTIR doesn't exist. And if you give him the contract that he has, IRL, the Canadiens are like way over the cap. So I'm going to leave that to you. Do you guys want me to sort of make this more of a challenge and give him the contract? Or, like, that would hurt us, but the Canadiens are going to get hurt either way when he retires, right? From buyout penalties or whatever. It's so, let me know what you think about that. Because currently we don't have a lot of money. Maybe we just let him go. We don't include him in the franchise mode because he is retired, but he isn't retired. You know what I mean? Matthias Norlinder, when you got the first taste of the NHL action, he's like, I don't want to deal with Dominic Ducharme because he is the worst coach in the NHL. God, I hate Dominic Ducharme. God, he's such a bad coach. But hey, we're tanking, baby. Last place in the NHL. Woot woot. And I see Matthias does have the ability to grow in franchise mode, but sometimes most of the time he doesn't, but I would say 1 in 4 times he does grow into an NHL defenseman with that potential. So hopefully for us, he grows into something solid, maybe a middle guy for us. At worst, he's a trade chip. Josh Brook, 22 years of age, 75 overall, doesn't look like he's going to grow too much more. Caden Gooley, captain of the Canadian World Juniors team. Unfortunately, it was cut short. I did see him throwing around the body. He was looking solid for the Canadian team, and he's been playing all over the place. I believe he's playing in the WHL right now. I can't. What team is he playing for in the WHL? He was just traded too. He's now playing. He's playing on a good team. Caden Gooley is our best defensive prospect. I know he has a lot of problems too. I do hear about that. Belpedo, Schueneneman, Fairbrother's not bad, but we don't have, as I've said before, we don't have any oomph. We need to draft well. And I have to discuss this. The reason I became so mad with the Canadiens and so what's the right word? Disattached? Is that a word? I don't know. I fell out of love with the Canadiens this past offseason because of management and their stupid decisions. And one of those stupid decisions, I don't care how talented a player is. I don't care, oh, he's just a kid. When you do something so stupid that you committed sex crimes, you don't get the privilege of ever playing in the NHL. Sorry, kid. I don't care what you think. He is never. Yeah, I'm sending him into the sun. I'm torpedoing him into the sun because I'm a good general manager, right? And he's an idiot. And Marc Bergevin's an idiot. But no, the NHL, hockey's for everyone, right? See, they're lying to you. It's an old white man's game, and talented players, they can get away with anything, right? No. You should be held accountable. Screw them, right? Screw them. Screw the management that allowed him to be drafted in the first round, be drafted at all. Come on, NHL, you stupid idiots. So, defensively, I guess we have a lot of prospects in the system, but no oomph. Goaltending. The guy that got me into hockey, one of the best goalies of his generation. This overall, you might disagree with. You might disagree with an 89 overall for Carey Price, but he did ultimately lead a garbage hockey team to the Stanley Cup Finals. Despite the finale, he was the only reason the Canadiens were ever in it at all. Obviously, we have to give props to Jake Allen. He's the only reason the Canadiens made the playoffs last year. Carey Price. This is also, I would put this in the same category as Shea Weber because he hasn't played hockey all season for the Canadiens. He is out, mental health reasons. I fully understand that. Do I play him in the NHL? Or for this year, do I say leave him in the AHL? play him in the AHL, stack up the AHL system. Hopefully he'd probably be mad either which way, and overall wise he'll tank. I want to hear your opinions there because that totally changes the way the Canadiens look at a season, right? Because if you have Carey Price playing, you're not 7-24-4. You're looking more like a middle of the pack team with a fully healthy Carey Price, absolutely. But obviously goalies are voodoo in this game. We keep him in, maybe. We tank for this year. We load up in the draft. We load up in free agency. We go one more year with Carey Price and try to get him a championship, because it hurts my heart so much that my favorite player will probably never win a Stanley Cup championship. And Carey Price is the hockey player that got me into hockey, dominating the Olympics in 2014, dominating the NHL, destroying teams in the playoffs. He is a once-in-a-generation goalie. You don't find guys like him very often. But depth goaltending-wise, Montembeault, bleh. In the system, Caden Primo, I might have to downgrade him just a tad. Just line him up with being a backup next year, but 80 overall seemed maybe a little too high for Caden Primo. McNiven, Deschaux, and Verbetic. Nothing crazy there, but drafting goalies is easy because they're voodoo, so I wouldn't put too much stock into goaltending, but goaltending has always been the best point for the Montreal Canadiens, and Carey Price is obviously a big question for this organization. So that is the roster explained. We've talked about it. I've asked you questions. What way do you think this team should go? I have only one real option, and that is scorched earth policy. I've used those words before. I've done it in other franchise modes. Here in Montreal, you look at this team and how are they going to compete? They're going to get wins. They're obviously going to get wins. They might even luck into a playoff spot because EA Voodoo is real. This is not a good team. We do not have the star power on this squad yet. But I have one goal, and it's to make the Montreal Canadiens a dynasty, not just one championship. I want 2 or 3. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this one, please leave a like, leave a comment, share this with people you think may enjoy this sort of thing. I will see you back in episode 1 with the Montreal Canadiens, so let me know what you think. I will see you back in the 2021-2022 regular season. Ciao.